We're here today with the PokeCentral boys. We got Frame and Garb. So I've been following these fellas for a good amount of time. I think they're extremely brave, and I really do enjoy their content. I think it's awesome, man. So I'm honored to have you guys out. Appreciate you guys coming through.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
You wanna go first?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
Perfect.
I'm Garb, one half of PokeCentral. If you haven't seen our stuff before, we do comedy, Pokemon content, skits. I mean, most content before we did it is just opening packs, and we just brought comedy into the TikTok.
Yeah, I'm Frame. I grew up with Pokemon. I put him onto Pokemon. I saw the content. He finally got me to download TikTok. I was a hater. I didn't care about the app.
Best app ever.
It is great. So I downloaded it. I see one Pokemon video, and you know how the For You page works. Now that's your whole feed.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm watching these, and the light bulb came up. So I come up to him, and I'm like, hey, let's do Pokemon, but let's light it on fire and shit.
Yeah.
I was like, let's go underwater and open packs. Like, look at these shitty videos getting 50K views.
No, you guys have
10K.
done some crazy
10,000
stuff.
followers off the rip.
Yeah, no, for
Haven't looked
sure.
back.
I mean, the way you guys have done it has been really cool. Like, you guys are trendsetters for sure. Everybody's so serious about like the Pokemon and the collecting world. It's nice to see people come into it with you guys have fun.
A lot of fun,
you guys are laughing, having a good time. You guys are trolling the community constantly, which I personally love, man. Like, as a pro athlete, like they're so hard on anybody who's had any level of success.
For sure.
So like I've got to tread carefully with like the type of stuff I say.
Yeah.
So when you guys like do what you do, it's like I feel like you're kind of speaking for me sometimes,
got that,
man.
Scratching that itch.
Yeah, just like just like having some fun and doing some wild stuff. I know scalping is obviously an issue in the industry, but like I think it's like you were saying earlier, bro, it's crazy overused. Like people will call me and Cash Cards scalpers, bro. I get all my product through distributors, like exactly how Pokemon intended us to get the product. You know what I mean? So like I don't understand. It doesn't make sense, but if you're not doing what they want you to do, then they label you a certain type of way. So I just think it's dope what you guys are doing, man. And I'm glad you guys came through to chop it up a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I think right now word scalper is overused, especially on TikTok.
Yeah, for sure.
They say everybody's a scalper. I see a video of a guy going to Target getting 2 boxes, and there's a video of him saying he's a scalper. It's crazy. We don't
let the stuff like hurt us. We kind of fuels us.
You embrace it.
We
for
embrace
sure.
it. So our bio right now is everybody's favorite scalpers.
Yeah.
We don't even scalp.
Yeah.
So those scalp videos, bio videos, we do those like once every 2-3 months.
Yeah, I mean,
we are not, and then it's just general Pokemon content.
Yeah, you guys are sourcing your product like how you're like supposed to. You're hustlers. You know what I'm saying?
And we don't even sell packs. We don't resell packs. We sell graded cards, singles graded cards. We open everything.
Mm-hmm. We open all those bio videos. We open that product.
Yeah, I know. I've noticed.
We don't.
We run auctions. We don't resell for higher, like,
which is awesome. I mean, first off, you get to enjoy opening up packs, which I think is for sure the best part. That's the beauty of this whole thing, is just opening packs, pulling nice hits, and then you guys run your business a lot differently than most people do.
For sure.
There's not a ton of people out there that are like buying a ton of product and ripping it and then selling it, because there's more risk involved.
And it might not make sense, but it's what we enjoy.
Yeah, you guys
and
are
it
doing
somehow works.
Listen, if it works for you, keep going. So, the whole scalper thing is what it is. But outside of that, bro, Pokemon is in an amazing place right now. All of the products, whether it's Japanese, Chinese, English products, is going crazy. Did you guys see that China's doing like some exclusive they're doing like exclusive promos and stuff like
and
that,
the singles, and they're redropping like Sword and Shield sets with different alt arts and
doing
stuff.
some dope stuff out there.
Fire.
Yeah, I've been trying. I'm trying pretty hard to get
as you should,
to get a distro plug out there for some of the Chinese product, because like that type of stuff out here, the people go crazy for it. It's probably not too easy to get.
I just started my collection back up. We sell ours and start new ones all the time, but mine Chinese alt arts right now.
Yeah, that's your thing.
I got the Charizard with Venusaur, the alt art Brilliant Stars.
Sick. Yeah,
got it for $30. I got the Aerodactyl for $60, Lost Origin.
There you go.
I got Machamp was like $15.
That's
so cheap.
And right now too, it's like nobody's really caught on to like the Chinese stuff yet.
I'm gonna hold on to those.
Yeah, you should for sure.
Absolutely.
A couple weeks ago, I was opening some packs of the Gemstone, Chinese gem pack.
Yeah,
it's like pink.
Sick.
I pulled Captain Pikachu.
Okay.
Got a graded 10, dude. Crazy.
Crushed it,
crazy,
bro. And their
dude.
packaging is actually sick.
Yeah, their cards are actually printed on the same presses in Japan as the Japanese cards.
Oh,
so the quality is good. It's not like Korean,
Yeah.
where it's like bad quality. It's actually very high quality cards.
I've heard really good things, man, and I've been seeing more and more of it. So it's like
they have the new one with the Gengar Pikachu card, the exclusive, and they have the new I think it's Gem Pack 2, the blue box with the evolutions.
Yeah, those are fire too.
Yeah, so much exclusive stuff, and it's gonna catch. Like we're about to open a shop in a couple weeks.
Okay,
and
where at? Tell the people where they can find
Tempe,
you.
Arizona.
Tempe, Arizona. Okay,
and
for sure.
We're gonna be
it's gonna be PokeCentral.
Yeah. It's gonna be so we're pairing with my boy at Tempe Throwbacks. He's got space in his store, and he's gonna let us go in there and set some stuff up. It's right off University. It's downtown Tempe. It's sick.
Sick.
Really good spot.
Guys,
Cross street from the police department. No one's breaking in.
Yeah, very safe.
Literally
very safe.
perfect.
Smart, strategic.
Yeah.
We
We're
like
actually
that.
gonna do it different too. Most shops we're gonna have just foreign product, pretty much Chinese, Korean,
Okay.
Japanese, maybe some other languages. Stuff that's more affordable.
More accessible because
Yeah.
you can't
More
get English
accessible,
right
more
now. It's
affordable.
almost impossible.
That's dope, man. Well, guys, definitely go check them out if you're in Tempe, Arizona. Go give them some love. Pokemon's just in a good spot, man. I mean, whether it's like I said, whether it's no matter what language it is, like people are loving Pokemon, and I feel like for the first time, well, not for the first time, like a couple years ago when COVID happened, obviously it had its like first initial like coming out party, I guess, where like people were like
it really came
were
back.
just shocked by how much money Pokemon cards are really worth.
Yeah.
And like, you had people going through their collections and finding all their collections at their grandma and grandpa's house and their mom and dad's house, and like it really started to gain some traction. But where it's at now, it really feels like it's a part of the culture.
Yeah.
It really feels like it's actually popular. It's trending or whatever. But it's been popular for a really long time. It just kind of flew under the radar.
Yeah.
Obviously Pokemon's been huge. The games I still play the games. I got like a vintage Pokemon Red one. Like
So
the shows, the movies, all that type of stuff. But it really feels like the nerd space has just blown up and is really at the forefront of like
Big time.
pop culture,
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's
definitely.
Waka Flocka.
Charmander or Squirtle? Charmander or Eevee? Charmander or Snorlax?
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I've been seeing that.
There's so many people
It's
you wouldn't
wild.
even know are into Pokemon.
All the big streamers, FaZe Clan, all that.
Tons of freaking
It's nuts.
Like you wouldn't think there's actually a lot of like NFL players, ex-NFL players.
Oh, for
You wouldn't
sure.
think so though. Like the Detroit Lions follow us.
Uh-huh.
A lot of
Yeah,
their,
no,
lot of
those
their
guys are
team,
sick.
A lot of
Yeah,
their
yeah.
team
I
is
like
into
their stuff,
Pokemon.
Yeah, they do Pokemon breaks. If you guys haven't seen
It's
on the
sick. Yeah.
Detroit Lions page, they do like a crazy vintage pack before
I think
every game.
next season we're probably going to be
We're trying to
out
get
there.
out
I'm trying to do it too.
Yeah,
I
we're
wanted when they were going to go to I thought they were going to go to NFC Championship. I was hopeful that I would get that spot, but yeah, I mean it's pretty crazy, bro. A lot of guys have come to me. More guys come to me for like the Magic the Gathering stuff, but there's so many dudes that are into Pokemon.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
It's just, I mean, it's part of our childhood,
People from like all walks of life that you wouldn't think are into Pokemon. Just the most random people are into Pokemon. It's crazy.
It's a great concept, bro. I mean, you literally are just constantly leveling up, and like I'm one of those guys that's just obsessed with growth.
Yeah.
So like Pokemon just speaks directly to my soul.
Yeah.
Like I'm RPG games,
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
want to constantly level up no matter what I'm doing,
For
like
sure.
in any part of life. So Pokemon's awesome, and I think that's kind of why it translates so well with athletes. It's because that's if you're not that way, if you don't have that kind of program in your mind, then like you can't really make it in as far as athletes are concerned. But yeah, it's pretty dope to see how far like this nerd culture stuff has come, and like
It's awesome.
see where it goes, because it's just the beginning, really.
No, yeah. This is probably the biggest it's ever been, I want to say.
For sure.
It's gotta be,
by
right?
far the biggest it's ever
And
been.
it's still just steady going on.
And there's there's like other companies that are really getting behind it.
Yeah.
Obviously Pokemon's been crushing for a long time, but they're collabing with all types of other bigger companies.
Everyone's starting to see the potential there. In the
Magic
money,
the Gathering is collabing with a lot of big IPs. You've got Topps and Fanatics are doing crazy stuff. They just did a One Piece collab with the Dodgers.
Really?
Which is sick.
I didn't even know about that.
Bro,
What?
there's a
That's
One
crazy.
Piece. There's a
I'm about to
One
look that
Piece
up.
promo. I think it's actually sometimes the game that they're giving them out is like sometime this week. But
Yeah.
there's just so much more money and marketing being put into this part of culture and just just the nerdy stuff in general. So I'm super interested to see where it goes, and how
sure.
big it
Yeah.
ends up getting. Because when I was a kid, man, most people who were into this, they hit it. They were they were what
They're
you call a
embarrassed.
closeted
They're
nerd.
embarrassed.
It's it's a real thing, man. So it's crazy to see where it goes from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's we see 16-year-olds with multi-million-dollar collections at like conventions.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
it's
mind
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Pato Pikachu set.
Yeah.
Like, we ran into some crazy
This
kids'
like
collections.
15-year-old came up to us. He had like $1 million in Pokemon cards in a briefcase.
Yeah.
And he was like, he said his parents didn't buy him anything. It was all him. I was like, what?
He just worked his collection up from there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's insane,
That
dude.
kid needs to get into day trading, bro.
Well,
For
he had like 20 or 30 Poncho Pikachus.
I'm over here selling
Which,
my
if you don't
Giratina
know,
to
when
eat
those
and
came
shit.
out, the boxes were like $15.
Pretty cheap. Yeah, they were
like
cheap.
$15.
Yeah.
So if you were lucky and you got a bunch of those boxes, I mean, dude, it's worth so much money.
There's
now.
so much now, and I love them. They're still to this day probably one of my favorite arts.
They're sick.
Yeah. Speaking of Magic, I kind of brought it up a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Magic the Gathering? I mean, that's kind of where it all started with Pokemon for me.
Yeah.
Pokemon led me to Yu-Gi-Oh, and then I found Magic the Gathering, and it was all over for me. But
Yeah.
still kept that love for the other two. Yu-Gi-Oh's kind of trash now, so I don't even think about it.
That's dead. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where I
Magic-
started with
Magic
Yu-Gi-Oh.
sucks.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Before Pokemon.
Magic sucks. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
Magic. Nobody, like,
That's wild.
I
That's wild.
actually like genuinely didn't think it was real until we saw the physical cards at your shop. I was like, I've never seen a Magic card.
Pretty
in my
much
entire life.
every card shop we talked to said they stopped selling Magic because no one buys it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest lie I've ever heard in my life, bro.
That's what we've been told by
That's
card
what
shop
you've been
owners.
told? Which card
Actually,
shop owners?
Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh. We've been told that about both.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously though.
Yeah, by multiple card
No,
shop owners.
no,
Like,
no, you're not
actually
trolling,
serious.
you're
No,
serious.
Actually serious.
That's crazy,
I feel like
bro.
he's trolling.
No, dude. Who told us?
I
that?
know Yu-Gi-Oh for a fact.
Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah, but I definitely see Magic in all the shops.
Dude, Magic right now,
100%.
like I'll give you an example. The Final Fantasy collector packs, bro. There was people selling each pack for $100. So
Fresh off the market.
$1,200 for a brand new collector box. Wow.
Do we need to start scalping Magic?
I'm
We
like,
might
dude, you
have
guys
to.
might need to get into it, bro.
So where do you get Magic outside of like resale? I've always wondered that.
Distributors.
Only distributors. You can't go to
Distributors.
Walmart, Target, and find that.
The stuff that they put in Walmart and Target is like typically trash.
Yeah, it's like battle deck boxes.
Yeah,
Pokemon.
exactly. It's typically
Gotcha.
it's not like Pokemon. You're not going to go to those type of places and
Yeah.
get like what you would get with Pokemon. It's much harder to get the Magic the Gathering allocations. And not every set's like Final Fantasy. Like that's a really healthy good set. But Magic's been in a really good place too, man. Like they've got another collab. They've got 2 more big collabs coming up. We've got Avatar: The Last Airbender,
No way.
right?
What?
And Marvel.
Marvel's
There's
crazy.
a Spider-Man set coming out.
Okay, that's nice.
So I mean, they're doing the
might
right
have to rip some of
stuff
that.
to like really like make it blow up like
For
Magic
sure.
to bring people to the to the table and have
That's
people
so
really hear
wild.
about it. And obviously, it all started with like Lord of the Rings was really like
That's
like,
what I was
coming
gonna
out.
say. I love Lord of the Rings. I'm a diehard fan.
Yeah,
Some of my favorite movies ever. I did rip some Lord of the Rings
yeah,
just for the fuck of it.
dude. So many people that
Love it.
never like I had never spoken to about Magic ever, like sports guys, Pokemon guys, whatever. They were hitting me up for the Lord of the Rings packs like crazy.
So
I
sick.
mean, I was getting in like those like massive group chats like that you get into, like it's just like a bunch of influencers
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
they were like DMing like, does anybody have like Lord of the Rings? Because obviously the One Ring was such a huge thing, like the one
No,
ring
Yeah.
The one
that
Post
everybody
Malone
was
got?
chasing. Yeah, that post he got and that he
Yeah.
uses as a coaster for his beers.
No way.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
course he
He's
does.
wild. He's wild. One of the best people I know, though, man. Awesome guy.
Did that affect the sales like heavily whenever that was pulled?
Not really.
Really?
No, because
You think it would
I
just
think initially it started to like tear off because like obviously the biggest card got pulled. But
of one's
now the Volume 1 and Volume 2 packs are way more expensive than they ever were like before the One Ring was pulled. And I think it's because so many people ripped it, and then the arts that they did with the Volume 2 were really sick as well. Like if you guys if you haven't seen it, the One Ring art for they're called the poster cards. It's sick, bro. It's like one of the dopest cards that Magic's ever printed. So yeah, Magic the Gathering. You guys, in your spare time, do a little research, bro. It's a good.
Yeah,
I'm
we're not
opposed to
doing
it.
that.
It's
Well,
like
and this is what I think of when I think of Magic, because when I was growing up, my uncle, who lived in my grandma's basement,
okay.
had like an ungodly amount of Magic the Gathering cards.
That
down
sounds
there.
about right.
Boxes and boxes. It was a whole basement full of them.
Yeah.
He's the one that put me on to like Zelda and the Nintendo 64. But
That fits the stereotype.
you
of
wanna know
Magic
so when I
players.
think Magic, I think of my uncle in my grandma's basement. because that's what I grew up with. But the artworks are so sick. That's the one thing I do like about them.
You know, now when you think about Magic, you can think about me. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
see, this is nice.
Much better than your uncle in your grandma's basement.
Way better.
You want to know something
I haven't talked to him in like 10 years.
My uncle had a bunch of Magic. He lived in my grandma's basement.
Actually, see,
Yes.
that's what I'm talking about.
And he had
I didn't know that.
He still has his collection. I think he said it's worth like 50, 60K.
The Magic players who are watching this right now are gonna hate this, but
They're all going to be like, yeah, I am someone's uncle and I live in someone's grandma's basement.
listen, yeah, I'm telling you, it's a stereotype of Magic players for a reason. I don't know what it is about Magic the Gathering. In like Dungeons and Dragons, they kind of go hand in
that's
hand.
even worse.
But like those
not
uncles that never quite grew up and just stayed at mom and pop's house, like they're a lot of times into Magic. But there's other really dope people into Magic too, bro.
Yeah.
That aren't just bums in
Name
their
five.
in their. Name 5:
That I
Post
would know.
Malone, Joe Manganiello, Nat. Obviously, I'm into it. Leonard Williams.
Yeah, he
know
just made
great
that name. He
gamers.
just made that
He
name
just
up.
made the- who
Leonard
the
Williams.
heck's
He
Leonard
plays D
Williams?
tackle for the Seattle Seahawks. He just signed like a $40 million deal.
He just made that fact up too.
I've never
It
heard
might
of,
even
I've
be
never
more
I've
than
never heard of the
$40 million.
Seahawks. He made up the Seahawks.
Yeah,
Seahawks, that's not a real team either.
Yeah. I forgot you guys are from Tempe.
Is Seattle
you know
even
what I mean?
is Seattle
I'm from
even
Kansas
a
City.
place?
I got my homes.
No, yeah.
I'm from
I
Ohio.
was born and raised in
actually.
Kansas City.
Ohio's like the football capital.
Yeah,
I
I'm
feel
from
like.
Ohio.
The Browns? Or is
Well,
it?
I'm saying like the because it started there.
Oh, did
you know
it?
the
I
Football
didn't know
Hall of
that.
Fame's out in Ohio. I think like
Okay,
the
yeah, I've
Browns
heard
are the
those.
oldest organization in football. I'm pretty sure.
A lot of history there.
A lot of history, bro. Ohio's got
sick.
some good football players that have came out of there. Obviously, Ohio State's nuts, but
But yeah, Ohio State, yeah.
So you guys are bigger. You guys really gravitate more towards like singles and slabs, right?
Yep.
Yeah. How do you guys feel like? Have you done both? Have you collected, or like has it always been this way where you guys go and you guys rip pretty much everything you get and then you flip it on whatever platforms that you guys are streaming, or did you guys ever try and go the sealed direction as well?
We've done a little bit of both, but I just feel like it's more profitable when you go the whatnot auction style, mystery bag stuff. I feel
Mystery
like
bags are
better.
dope, yeah.
And they're cool. They're a lot of fun too.
They are.
There's a lot of controversy around them too, though.
Yeah,
So-
because some people do them really badly and
sure.
they get really greedy. And I think, that's an unfortunate. I mean, that's just a part of business, though. Like, there's
Definitely.
companies that do things the right way and companies that do things
It's
the
gonna
wrong
be
way.
everywhere, yeah.
But like to me, I really do have a lot of fun with those. We work with a company called Relics Awaken, who does like Magic the Gathering repacks.
Yeah.
And Magic doesn't really have that. Now, Pokemon, obviously, like everybody's doing repacks. And
Yeah,
sports, it's kind of the
definitely.
same type of deal. But there's a reason why they're doing it, because they're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun. It kind of takes the chase to another level,
It does.
which is cool.
Just
So,
it's like gambling,
Yeah.
It's super fun
yeah.
until it's not.
I don't gamble.
Really?
I don't really gamble. I
usually
did
don't
like a
either.
poker tournament in Vegas a couple weeks ago. It's like
Texas
the celebrity. Yeah. And that's the only form that I ever played. And I wasn't playing with my money though. Like I got free entry for just, being me,
yeah.
which is
That's
sick.
sick. Yeah.
But like I've gambled like probably 4 or 5 times in my life, like in Vegas. And 2 times I hit, which was like amazing. And then the other 2 times I put like, I'll always go take like 2, maybe 3 grand out, and I'll just sit on the table. And if I make money, great. If I lose all my money, I'm done. Like I'm
Yeah,
done
take
for the
more
day.
out.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I took my loss.
For sure.
And when you take that loss, man, that shit hurts, bro.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
if it's only like $500, it's just like gone so fast.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You had a crazy
I went to
story.
the casino one time. Okay. One time
I was
only.
there.
And I won't go again. I went there. I had $200. I was playing freaking
Digital roulette.
roulette. Yeah. So I turned that $200 into almost $3,500
Okay.
and lost all of it.
That's
So
my
I was like, dude, I got $3,500. I can keep
It
going.
was annoying. Like, you could tell he was genuinely getting addicted. And I was like, I'm going to go wait in the car. He's waiting to cash out. He's like, I'm going to just wait
He
to
left
cash
me
out.
with one friend, and he convinced me to keep going.
Yeah, so me and my friend are outside. I was just smoking cigarettes and shit, getting pissed. I was like, why is he taking so long? I see my buddy walk out like this, and I was like, that's not good.
bro.
Take
You know,
30 seconds later,
that's one
he's
of-
going out.
That's crazy. Bro.
He told me to keep going, bro.
Yeah.
He literally
He
was
just kept
urging
pressing you
me-
as you're
yeah.
just.
He was urging
as
me to
it's
keep
just
going.
dwindling down.
He was the one who could have got me to stop, but he went
I
outside.
tried. He was addicted, genuinely.
Bro, I feel like, I mean, that's another one of my rules. Like, one of the times that I did actually have success, I put like $500 on the table and I walked away with like, I think it was like 1,500. And as soon as I got to 1,500, I'm like, I'm good. I'm taking my chips away because you can lose it. You can use that 1,500 so fast. That's the whole point.
Once I hit $3,000, I should have been like, I'm done.
Dude, you turned what? Would you say like
$200
$200 into $3,000, bro? That's what
off digital roulette.
Come on, that's a come up. You're paying for your whole trip.
I tried to get him out.
Whoever says bet on black, it's red for sure.
I mean, whatever you say, bro. I'm probably not doing either.
How you were talking about earlier? when we started doing TikTok, we started doing rip and ships at first, and we didn't really know how to get products, so we just went to the store, bought packs, sold them on live for a little more. But we were actually the first people on TikTok to sell Korean product.
Oh, okay.
There was not one seller on the whole platform that sold it before we did.
Okay.
We started selling Korean EV Heroes because that stuff at the time, we were paying, I think, $40 a box for Korean EV Heroes. And we were selling for $5 a pack, which is crazy. Yeah, it's good. Because this was before anyone else was selling it, so people didn't know the market of Korean packs.
Right.
So, I mean, the profit margins on that was insane.
I mean, if you're the first person to find like something new and it pops off, you know, you're gonna benefit the most. So you guys are, like I said earlier, man, you guys are setting trends, which is super dope. And I love what you guys are doing, man. I appreciate you guys coming out to just, you know, chop it up a little bit. And we'll definitely stay connected and continue to support you guys from afar. And if you guys are ever in LA and need anything, don't be afraid to hit me up. Yeah,
we are trying to do monthly.
Dude, we love the people out here, the content. Like, we've made so much content.
And we got so many connections this trip. Like,
and clips.
Last night going to that house full of content creators, it was like 8 or 9 big content creators.
5+ million followers each.
Yeah, we got so many connections.
Love it.
Last
well,
night.
shoot, next time you guys come out, man, let's collab on a stream.
Let's do it.
We've got a bunch of space over here.
Maybe we get Lil Xan here or something. He's one of our good friends.
Whatever, bro. Whoever, anybody can come through and vibe up, and we'll have a dope stream. We can line it up with TikTok. You know, we got a great relationship with TikTok, so if we can do something cool with a bunch of, you know, fun product and stuff, we'll get something coordinated, man. But
definitely,
I appreciate you guys coming out. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Of course, bro.